Boy, I'm so ready. Oh Lord, I'm so ready. I know it's been a minute, guys. And I don't even know where we broadcasting that, but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? This is a Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? It's a good night. I said, man, let's have some fun tonight. Been working hard all week. It's time to, you know what I'm saying, kick back, relax, sip your little whatever you got in your cup. And we're gonna have a nice little time tonight because it's finally back, guys. He Say, She Say show, which is really where everybody has a voice. So why not let your voice be heard? And tonight, I wanted to bring to you guys the Black Man Experience. Now, this is a special broadcast where you get to hear, if you so you probably gonna hear, but you get to listen if you choose to listen to the vantage point of a couple Black men tonight and their experience, especially with dealing with women. Right. Yep, it's the He Say, She Say show. So we have the Black Man Experience tonight, man. I'm super excited about this. I normally do this and have more men, but I just decided I was going to do it last minute, and that's what we got. So the Black Man Experience. Now, here's how the show works. Here's how we work. We got rules up in here, and it's real simple, right? The rules are this. If you are a brother and you're joining here tonight and you want to add to the conversation, you want your comment popped up, right? You put before whatever it is you got to say, you put it before he say such and such, such and such. If you're a sister and y'all gonna be going in tonight because we gonna let you know how we feel, and you want to add to the conversation here tonight, then you will put in the comments below she say and whatever, right? So that's how it goes. So he say, she say. So begin your rebuttal, comment, add on what he say or she say, depending on if you're a brother or sister. Now, I guess we need to go ahead and figure out who's in the room here tonight. If you're a brother and you're joining us already live here tonight, go ahead and put in the comments. So he said, I just want to recognize the brothers and see if y'all actually gonna show up, to support here tonight if you know that this is going on. And ladies, if you're here tonight and you want to come out strong and represent, like y'all know y'all coming out, and y'all want to either y'all want to hear this or y'all don't want to hear this. Who knows? Go and put in the comments. So she say, I want to see who's here already. We got 6 people watching. He say, she say. Let us know that you're here tonight. Now, the Black Man Experience, the title for tonight is really simple. Dealing with Black women ain't easy. And so we're going to get right to this thing. And it's not a bashing session. I just want you to know that. It's not about bashing Black women or anything like that. It's a title. But we hope to bring some understanding and clarity on how you can make it easier for us to deal with you. Because it's some common things that many brothers continue to say over and over and over and over again. And I don't know if we're listening or paying attention or not. So who's here with us here tonight, man? Jamal, what's going on, man? I sent you the link. Did you want to come in, or are you just gonna show up to be in the comments? Let me know what's going on with you. Queen Alford in the house. Good evening to you. She already tagged us. Hit the like button, the share button if you can. Like button, the share button if you can. It's gonna be a par brother. She say is in the house. He say is in the house. Again, guys, give you the rules again. If you're a brother, go and put in the comments. So he say. I just want to see if we got some more representation from the bros here tonight. Your sister, all right, go ahead and put in the comments. So she says, see what type of representation we got for the sisters here tonight. And before you add anything, if your brother put he say, blah blah blah. If your sister put she say, blah blah blah. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
All I'm saying is, for us Black men dating Black women in America, it's a challenge for us.
It's not a challenge. You just picking the wrong women. You know what? You just don't understand.
Well, help me understand. Explain it in a way that is appealing to a man, cause I know frustration comes and you throw up your hands. Let's debate upon the topic. I will listen to your stance. I'll object it if I can. Can I interrupt her though? She's passionate about it. When she speaks, it lets you know. He say, she say, intro song. I hope you enjoy the show. Evan Jefferson is on. Let me introduce the host.
All right, my beautiful people, man, I want to welcome you to the He Say, She Say show. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, just a brother who cares, who wants to bring a platform where we can actually have adult conversation. Everybody put in the comments on hashtag adult conversation to hope to bring some some more unity and bonding, and we quarantined up, so we might as well learn how to communicate a little bit better. Now, here's the deal, right? This is a adult night, right? So put the kids in the bed, get your little drink, because it's gonna be a bar burner here tonight. And if you can't stand the heat, get your ass out the kitchen. Okay, that's just what it is, man. We're gonna bring the heat here tonight. We're gonna have adult conversations like adults should be able to have conversations. Not no argument or debate or anything like that. We just want to be able to share, right, some experience with you guys. And I got quite a few examples. Oh, I mean, I've been loading. I said, oh, okay, this is gonna be good for the show. This one's gonna be all this week. And so my main title here tonight is that dealing with Black women ain't easy. All right, dealing with. Now I know you're gonna say, well, it's all women. Hey. I don't deal with all women all the time. I'm specific in this title with Black women, but I love me some Black women. All right, can't live with them, can't live without them. But I want to be able to share. Hopefully, be able to share some things that you could help us. Help me. Okay, help me to deal with you in a more pleasant manner, because it get frustrating sometimes. Just like I'm sure. For the she-says out there, it get frustrating to you as well. But I do have a guest that's with us here tonight who's going to be able to help me. He's an older gent. I don't know how much older he is than me, but I felt let me bring a G in here, and maybe because I'm young and I just say, oh, I'm a fireball, right? But let me bring you my brother Anthony Sims. He on short notice joined us here tonight. Brother Anthony Sims, how you doing here tonight, man? Thanks so much for taking the time to be with us, King. How you doing tonight?
Oh, my pleasure. I'm doing great. Looking forward to this conversation.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much for joining. I know we still got some people joining. So again, I want to bring down the rules again for you guys. Here's how it works. All right, it's a he say, she say show. For those that's in the comments, if you want to add something to the conversation, you're a brother, you say he say, blah, blah, blah. Your sister say, she say, blah, blah, blah. And that's how you get your comments, get me to see your comments. You say, hey, you're going to talk in third person here tonight. You speaking for the she's, you speaking for the he's. And all I'm saying is you are joining us here live here tonight. If you are here and you're a brother, go ahead and put in the console. He says, give a little practice. So I want to see if we got more than one brother in the comments here tonight, because this is the Black man experience. And if you're she say you're joining tonight, because y'all always come out. Y'all like to talk about this stuff. Y'all like to talk. But now you get a chance to listen, right? She say, right? And I got this set up this way for a particular reason, because I really feel like in many times, the brothers don't really get to hear their whole voice heard, their whole comment, their whole thought. A lot of times, women, let's be honest, you kind of dominate these conversations, and we got stuff to say. So tonight you get a chance to type, right, and hopefully listen. And we might get somewhere here tonight. Let's see who's here with us here tonight, man. Dope conversation, Miss Jennifer Almond. Thanks so much. Wakita is in the house. Thanks so much for joining. Still tagging people. Hit the like button, the share button if you care. Like button, share button if you care. Now, Brother Anthony, as I mentioned to you, I had a video. This was inspired by a woman here tonight who sent me something. I was like, that is interesting. And I said, you know what? I want to do a show tonight. And this is Sister Alexis. I don't forget her last name, but she just sent something to me randomly. And then she said, what do you think about this? And I guess she's been looking at my post and like, you must be frustrated, brother. I said, yes, I am frustrated. She's like, well, let me see if I can help you out. So she sent a video, and this is from Sister Circle. And so I want to play this first to set the tone for tonight.
Welcome back to Sister Circle Live. We always enjoy having some Mars versus Venus talk down to the circle. And today we're joined by Debrina Jackson Gandy, a relationship coach and author of the best-selling book, The Love Lies. And she's here to share some strategies on how men and women can effectively communicate. Welcome to the show, Debrina. Thank you. How's you going?
Trying to keep up. Looking okay, now let's just get right on into the nitty-gritty of this. It's often said that communication is key. Okay, we know that. I try to tell my husband this all the time, but he don't listen to me. But we often see a lot of communication breakdowns between the man and the woman, especially. All relationships have breakdowns, but especially between the man and the woman. What do you think is the key factor going on here?
You know, there's this adage that communication is the key, but it's not true, right? Because most of us can speak, most of us can articulate, but it's that men and women have a different style and pattern of communication. So you may say something to your husband, you think you're being clear, you even check with your girlfriend, aren't I being clear, honey? And then he still is not responding the way you want or doing, you know, whatever the behavior is. So we often are speaking in concepts instead of giving him actions or being sure action is in the language. So, or we will infer. So the garbage is full, and we might say, wow, that garbage is really full, honey. And he'll say, yeah, it is. Sure is. That's the fact. That's right too. But you now need to give him an action. Would you take the garbage out after you watch the game?
We gotta say it though.
It should be.
Okay. We have to say
love line number 8. He should already know. Don't assume. Men just need you to let them know. They love taking action. They love pleasing us. Okay. So just let them know what you want them to do. Not think, why should I have to ask him? You're right. But
the trash needs to be changed, though.
But what?
The trash needs to be changed.
So just ask him to do it, and he will. But don't assume or infer or drop hints or get passive aggressive about it.
Okay, well, wait a minute. What if you say, look here, the garbage is full. Can you take the garbage out? And if you say it real nice and everything, and then they'd be like, okay, and then like an hour go by, and then the garbage still.
You can't throw anything away after an hour. Well, hang on. First of all,
people are gonna throw the garbage in another garbage just to not take it out.
Well, listen, when you make a request of a man, don't say can. That means capability. It's not about can do. Would you or will you? And then because the garbage may be important to you does not mean it's at the top of his priority list. You may have to remind him. But that's kind of symbolic for trash. Yeah. But it may be important to you, but not as important to him. Right. So you may have to remind him.
Okay. Well, you have terms when it comes to communication with men and women. You call it manese and womanese.
Yeah.
I guess I don't technically speak manese because if the trash needs to be taken out, and if I see that the trash needs to be taken out, you can obviously see that the trash needs to be taken out. So why should I have to even ask you to take out the trash when it's full?
So here's the thing. Do we want to be right or do we want to do what works?
And taking out the trash works.
No, so communicating in a way for him to do it, he's not frustrated, you're not irritated, you stay relaxed, you get the action you want, and then he wants to do more action for you versus getting irritated and checking out, which is what many men do.
So tell us how to speak manese.
Wonderful. So one is we have to learn how to make requests because when we talk to our girlfriends, we infer. So if I was talking to Rashawn and I said, wow, it's been a long time since we went to that little favorite restaurant we used to go to when we were, became friends first. And you'd say, well, girl, let's go. Right. Infer. I don't have to say it.
Right.
Then if I was talking to a man, I said, gosh, it's been a long time since we went to that favorite place when we first started dating. He goes, it has been a while. That's what a man would say. So you want to just make requests. Would you take me to that place? Of course, honey. Of course. So it seems minor.
That's a lot. No, it's not. It sounds like a lot.
No, it's about getting what you want with more ease and not having to repeat things and staying in your sweetness.
I have to take the quality on this one, y'all, because I'm just like, that's just a lot to have to deal with. I'm going to have to be like, can you take us to that place at 5:00 p.m. on Tuesday, January 6th? Yes, in 37 seconds. And these are the directions, and will you go? Like, I'm going to put a timer on them, a stopwatch. Because I could tell my husband one thing, he'd be like, yeah, that's a good idea. We're going to go. And then it never happens.
Well, it might be new behavior for him to set up the date. That's okay.
That's what I'm going to have to do.
Patience.
Put a timer on it.
Let's talk about this amazing book before we go. 10 revelations that will transform your relationship and enrich your love lives. What is your number one, do you think, out of these 10 revelations, if you had to pick one?
Oh, my.
All of them are so juicy, huh?
A man does not complete you. Everything in the love relationships culture in our country says, get a man so you can be happy, get a man so you can be complete. And we're waiting to exhale until we get a man.
That's real good.
All right. What a way to get a he say, she say, so started. Brother Anthony, I got to come to you first, man, because there was a lot of different reactions to this book, Love Lies, which I'm probably going to get because we're going to need to do that on here on the show. What's your take? I mean, what you got? What does he say about what he just saw?
The first thing that I noticed is that woman that was on the end in the black, not the one with the braids, but on the far end. I guess it would be to my right. she seemed to be very upset about simple communication styles and the differences. Using her analogy about the trash, she knows it's full, he knows it's full, but she wants him to take it out now. So she just wants him to read her mind and just automatically go and do it because she's thinking it. And oftentimes we don't work like that. We know the trash needs to be taken out.
Hold on, brother. I want to get your comments from the he says and she says in the comments below. And let's emphasize that word. She wanted to go out now.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. And he's thinking to himself, when I go out, I'll take the trash with me.
Right.
And oftentimes, I know I've done that myself. I know the trash needs to be taken out, and I know that in a couple of hours I'm going to be going out, so I'll take it then. Now, in her scenario, if she come in and says, "Hey, I just put some onions in the trash, it's going to make the kitchen smell. Can you take it out now?" Then I'd be more than happy to go and do it then. But it's just a simple communication style. One of the other things that I noticed about her body language is that it was very aggressive, and most guys don't react well to an aggressive behavior coming from a woman, especially his woman. When she's supposed to love him and he's supposed to love her, that aggressiveness puts him on defense. So then automatically he don't want to take that trash out at all. But and you think about it, when we talk about communication, we're talking about communication from a personal standpoint and from a biblical standpoint. And I know you do the word of the day. You read that every morning. So every morning you go through different verses of the Bible. But periodically, I don't know the Bible backwards and forwards, but I do read it from time to time. And there's a part in there, I think it's in Ephesians, that talk about communication should be done with love, not with anger. And what that woman was displaying seemed to me like anger and frustration. And when you do that, you're not going to get a positive reaction from anybody, not from your children, not from your mate, not from your coworkers, not from anybody. Because we all know that person at work that's angry. And when they communicate, we shut down. Like, I don't care what they talking about. I don't care what they saying or whatever. And they're done talking at that point. They're done interacting. Same thing goes when it comes down to your relationship. If you come angry and with aggression, you automatically causing that other person to get defensive or shut down.
Man, great stuff, Anthony. Now here's the deal, guys. I want to also make me add this as well. Again, for those that are just joining, if you're a brother, you want to add to the conversation, put in he say and then your comment. If you're a sister, you want to add to the conversation, put in she say in your comment. Now I'm going to also add this as well, or say this as well. As men, we typically see very similar things or responses and reactions from women. It kind of goes in some categories where we see deflection, we see some generalization coming from women as well. These are like typical responses in order to not to accept any responsibility or blame or anything like that. So I just want to let you guys know that we are intelligent brothers. I want you guys to understand that men are a little bit more intelligent than you may give them credit for. But anyway, here we got a she say. She say she's probably tired of always initiating. LOL, that can make one seem aggressive. So you're going to assume that you know how she's feeling. She's probably, so now we're going, you know her history.
Okay, let's take this a little step further.
Yeah, that's benefit of doubt. I guess. Go ahead, brother.
And we're going to continue to use this trash analogy with her comment. I don't know a man that I'm in contact with that will allow their trash to overflow and not take it out. I don't know not one. So her comment implies that a man is going to just let this trash overflow, and she's constantly saying to him over and over again, you need to take this trash out. You need to take this trash out. One thing that I do know from being in relationships, I know the day the trash gets picked up at my house and at hers. And when I go over to her house, if I see the trash that needs to be taken out, when I leave, I take the trash with me. Now, when I get there, if she wants the trash taken out, then I would think that she would say, can you take the trash out now? I just put some stuff in there and need to go out. It's simple communication. It's simple.
And let me add something, Anthony. He say not only could she could be tired, but could her tired of initiation be with her previous man and not with her current man? She just be tired of initiating with the kids, with anything that's happened prior to this brother or mate being in her life. It may not necessarily be initiating with him.
Let's take that a step further, though.
Hold on. But that would be bringing the trash into your next relationship. Bringing your trash. We on some trash talk tonight. Trash talk tonight. Go ahead, brother Anthony.
Or she could be tired of all the commentary on social media that she sees of other people complaining about what their man doesn't do or didn't do, or some from a TV show that she watched that some dude is scripted to be trifling. And then she takes it as though this is real life. There's lots of influences that come into that tire.
Wow, this is good stuff, man. We got another one say, or tired. So here's the thing. Or tiredness can be interpreted as aggressiveness. Like, I get it. Instead of us looking at her just looking at her response, now we're trying to give her reasons why justify her response. Now, here's my thing. Does that make her response okay?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Does it make her response okay? Like, okay, well, this could be this and this could be that. And it's a whole bunch of possibilities, but at the end of the day, men are saying, okay, does that make it okay? That's just like if we come home and we had a bad day at work and we treat you not say something to you off the cuff or not good, does that make it okay because I had a bad day at work? No. Go ahead, Brother Anthony.
You remember that video with Nikki Giovanni and was it it wasn't Langston Hughes. It was I can't think of what his name is right now, but he mentioned when he comes home from work, he wants to be himself. And she said, you've been giving the lies to the white people all day. Bring that lie home to me. Treat me nice like you treated them white people that's been kicking you down. But it seems today that women don't want that. Women want you to be real and be who you are, but then they don't want all the stuff that comes along with that. Same thing with men. Men do the same thing. They want this perfect IG model-esque type of person, but then they don't want that chick that they come home to with the bonnet on their head to keep that hair looking nice when y'all go out. So it's like it's a difference in interpretation and difference in desire, and basically boils down to what we said before: a lack of communication.
A lack of communication. He said James Baldwin, Dickie Giovanni, and James Baldwin.
Yeah,
yeah. He say, here we go. She probably knew that about him before they got married. Meaning, as a wife, she should know her husband's form of communication. Understand these are compromises on a team. Okay, now.
Women don't care. They don't care.
Hey, one thing that seems that is common for brothers to understand is that it seems most women simply don't care.
Yeah. That's
the thing, Brother Anthony. Now imagine this, Brother Anthony. If that was a man trying to tell those three women that same thing. I ain't trying to hear none of that.
No, they only received it because it came from somebody that looked like them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go, man. Let's keep going. I got he say, Brother Plant. He say both need their cups filled. Be real with each other, even when it hurts. Absolutely. Unexpected communication. I don't know what that is. I ain't see he say. Yeah. If you got a he say, if you're a brother, you want to add to the conversation. He say. If you're a sister, want to add to the conversation. She say. So we can get your comments heard. Now we had now that was the sister on the right who just seemed to be like, I can't do that. Like sisters, help me out, help me understand, why is that difficult? What makes that so difficult? Is that and I'm gonna ask this, is that a pride thing? I mean, why is it that some women, I'm not gonna say all, feel like it's above them or beneath them, one of the two, to simply communicate what they want? Or that we should know them enough to say, oh, you want that done now, almost like I better do it now versus I just will do it. The trash will go out. Or but her demeanor, and even Rashawn Ali, who was right next to the lady in the purple, it was like, oh, infer. And the other piece that I got, Brother Anthony, is that he say there are many women who have not learned that there's a difference between talking to your girlfriend and talking to your man.
I was just about to say that inference is a big difference between how women and men communicate. Because also, when you think about it, if you talk to lesbian couples, they have that same issue. Even though they're both women, they have that same issue. Now think about that for a moment. When you're talking to your homegirl, that inference is understood. But somehow there's a breakdown when it's your mate. That inference, no matter what the sex is, that inference is not picked up. You have to be more direct with that other person.
Absolutely. So she say that's not true. Women can receive from men as well. Yes, we're capable. Remember these words? Can? Yeah, you can. I'm just saying in that particular, and that's what we saw. If that was a man versus a woman, I wonder how well, if that same commentary would have been received. It just happened to be all 4 women and another woman speaking in that. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing something in there. Like, man, I wonder how that would have been. I'm not saying that women can't receive from men. I mean, you'll listen to a Steve Harvey, or I think we talk about Daryl Speaks or whatever. But obviously there's different types of men as well. Okay.
Well, I mean, let's kind of go a little bit deeper in that. Of course, they can receive that from a man if he's speaking her language. Like we just talked about, Stephen speaks to the women's perspective about what men should be doing. That dude is always sitting in his car talking about what men do and what men don't do, and that kind of men ain't shit and that kind of thing. I forget what his name is.
Tony?
Huh?
That Tony Gaskins?
No. Big muscle dude.
Oh, I don't know.
Jackson, that's what his name is. Derrick Jackson also speaks to he speaks in a way that women can identify with that communication. Steve Harvey does the same thing because that's who their core audience is. Now, whenever they have somebody that does not speak their language on their show, or any show like it, there's typically some going back and forth, some neck rolling, some eye rolling, and a lot of I don't understand why y'all just don't get it kind of thing.
Okay, all right. So different languages. Okay, gotcha. She say it's all about the tone of voice and communication. From on which side? When you say, I mean, I think absolutely. All right. unspoken expectations. Yeah, unspoken expectations. That could be a problem. You expect it, but you ain't spoke it. That could be a problem. She say you should definitely be mindful and respectful with how you approach your man. Okay, absolutely. Sure. Oh, okay. She say sometimes in relationships people want certain things and do not talk about what they want. Yeah, not voicing.
That's a great point. That's a great point there. I read this book called Lies We Tell at the Altar. And now you think about when you get married, the things that you say for better or for worse, through sickness and health and so forth. But nobody ever says, if you get cancer, I'm out. I mean, this marriage is over. If you lose all your money and lose your job, nobody ever says that because it's not politically correct or it's not nice. So when we walk into a relationship, the real conversations that we should be having, we're not having them. We're not having them at all.
Yeah. She say we're listening to both of you and the information just as valuable. Yes. I would agree. He say I would agree, but this is also a controlled environment, right? We're not 4 people sitting at a table. You got the woman is forced to type in this particular environment that we have set up here tonight. So if we 4 sitting at a table, I might have got 3 words out, and that was about it. So yes, I'm glad that we're having some good adult conversation here tonight. I was trying to move on, but let's keep going. She say when emotions are involved, some women tend to that word, dismiss their partner's feelings and only focus on themselves. Now, I was talking to a sister earlier today.
Glad you admitted it.
Yeah, I was talking to a sister earlier today, and she said she wanted to add to this point for the women that it's not all about you. He said it's not all about you and what you want. That's what she wanted me to add to our conversation tonight. It's not all about you. And when those emotions get involved, I sometimes it gets to be, my way or the highway type of thing, I guess, kind of what's going on there. He say, closed mouths don't get fed. I can't eat while she starves and vice versa. Let us eat together. Absolutely. Brother Plant is in the house. Now, Brother Anthony, what I wanted to do is I've had a couple scenarios that has happened this week. and just in dealing with women, right? And I found it, I was just like, wow, and these are all just platonic, mutual, business, whatever type of interactions. I was like, man, why is it so difficult just to kind of, deal with you, right? Deal with you. So I wanted to talk about one that actually happened today, right? And in this conversation, it was a sister that came onto my post, my personal page, and saw something maybe she didn't like. And and I'll tell you what I wrote. And I didn't think it was anything wrong with it, but she took offense to it. Took offense, right? That's the thing. When you take offense, you get into emotion stuff. So the post was about, I was out in the field today, and I saw a lot of brothers and sisters not wearing masks, like just being stupid, okay? And I said, hey, are you allergic to protecting yourself and wearing a mask if you go out? We sick, boss. Same way I talk all the time. Yeah. She's probably new to my page, and here's her comment. First time ever commenting at me seeing this woman's name. This is her comment. Everyone around me is wearing a mask, but you're referencing and how. But what are you referencing, and how is this good business logic? I've been ordering masks and essentials from Black-owned businesses and was looking at your site last night. But now first, let me just break down this communication to me. What they're saying to me. You're threatening to say you're not going to do business with me.
Yeah.
But you ain't done business with me at all, so I ain't really losing nothing by you threatening to not do business with me. And you're questioning my business logic on my personal page. Okay. And you're asking, what am I referencing? Now, if you could have stopped the word am I referencing, we good. I'm referencing me seeing people outside of my community not wearing masks. I thought that was pretty clear. So, me being the guy that I am, here's my response. Miss such and such, are you where I am? We all have different experiences. How is it a good business logic? Well, this is my personal page. People appreciate my honest opinion and view as far as what I see in the community. Any other questions? Her response, you lost me for any business, horrible business ethics and strategy. My response, my response, I can't lose what I never had. Bye, Felicia. And keep it moving. Right, and keep it moving, and I was like, the audacity, right? And this is. I'm not gonna say this is normal, but man, I was trying to figure out the word of what that character is. Like you own the world, like what you think is the only thing that matters. I don't really know. Can somebody help me understand who just comes and just dump their stuff? Help me out, Brother Anthony. I don't know.
I've seen that kind of thing before on my page and on business pages and other people's pages. And the only thing that I can surmise from that is that person is dealing with something and they need it, and you were just a trigger for that moment. That's the only thing that I can surmise from that. Because, like I said, it's different if it was on your business page and you said that. And then she said, this is not good business practice and so forth. But she's on your personal page. Right. So the two have nothing to do with one another. Like when I'm at work, I'm at work. And when I do business, I'm professional and I do what I do. But if you catch me with my friends, if that's going to make you not want to do business with me, then like I said, I can't miss what I never had in the first place.
Man, so that was, I want to share these experiences, guys, because a lot of times these things are happening in these interactions, and I found that only one side of the story is getting told. The person's probably telling, oh, he's such and such, or whatever she might be doing on her end. I don't know. It don't matter to me, because I had to hit the block button. I said, let me get this out. I don't do. You coming here for drama? I ain't got time for all that. He say, man, ERGJ, are you dealing with women who are into what you are into, businessman, or who you are? Am I? You know what, brother? We all seem to get representatives in the beginning, and then you start to figure out, okay, is this representative the real person or is it someone else? So he say, you know what? Who knows until I investigate a little further.
Exactly. Like you said. The representative, when it comes down to relationships, often leads to some issues down the line with communication, since we're talking about that, because if you're communicating one way in the very beginning, and that's what he expects, or that's what she expects, then once you get a year in or 2 years in, and you're anticipating that it to be that same way, it might not be, because that representative is now gone. And what do we say? It takes 21 days to form a new habit. So, so at that point, what do? You pass 21 days in, you're gonna be who you're gonna be at that point. And now she's frustrated, and you frustrated because now your communication is off.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, again, I want to give you guys the rundown. We got some people that may just be joining us here. The He Say, She Say show, we do have a code. Just 2 rules. Everyone has a voice. Let your voice be heard. But if you're a sister, you're here, you want to add to the conversation, you would put in she say before your comment. If you are a brother, you want to add to the conversation, you put in before your comment, he say, and then we'll pull up your comments here in below. And I see you, Brittany Smith says she probably just bitter. That's what I thought. I said, we got a bitter. It almost slipped. It almost slipped. And she just bitter. I'm going, yeah, man, I ain't gonna let
you say a BB, huh?
There's the main question to be asked. She said, there's the main question to be asked. Absolutely. So that was one experience, guys. That's happened today. And I was just like, wow, had to block a chick, just go ahead and hit that block button real quick and just leave that where it is. Cause you ain't doing no business with me. If you was on my page last night, you would have bought last night if you really wanted to. You all this extra stuff. No, you here for trouble. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. When we're hurt people, everybody putting comments on hurt people. Hurt people. Men or women. Hurt people. And so
I had that conversation with a woman one time. She was just kicking up a bunch of drama. And I noticed, and I said to her, I was like, the only time that I've ever seen you smile is when you're stirring up some trouble. That's the only time I've ever, other than that, you have this scowl or the resting bitch face all the time until you're stirring up some drama. You're gossiping or you're doing something along those lines. I was like, we are not the people that hurt you. And I just turned around and walked out. Now, since then, her demeanor has been different. But a lot of times I don't think we understand that, or we do the self-evaluation as a people, as a man or as a woman, that once somebody has hurt you in the past, taking that trauma to the next thing, like as you said, bringing your trash to the next relationship. We don't do very well at resolving those issues before we move on.
Man, resolving those issues. That's time heals all wounds, man. He say time heals all wounds. She say don't start something if you're not going to keep it going. I'll be honest, I'm guilty of that because I think, man, I can take for everybody, but I got some stone cold moves in the beginning. I got some stone cold moves in the beginning that might not be as consistent as we move on, because let's be honest, guys, your relationships evolve. As you and I have gotten to know each other, as you and I are starting to form what our relationship is going to be, that takes on a life of itself. So it may not always be what it started with, but there's still the evolution process to say we still got something solid and strong together, but now we've evolved in how we operate as mates, as partners. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think the problem is, though, when one person evolves, another person doesn't. when you grow, another person don't grow, you're like, okay, I done grown up here, you still back here, and now I got to wait. I think that could be some issue that we have as well.
Yeah, that's stressful. That time frame to you're together, you stretch apart. If one person is moving slower than the other one, that can be a stressful part of your relationship. It can make or break it.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Hey, the art of discernment is key, sister. This is the sister that turned me on to the video we just played. All right, hurt people. Thanks so much, sister Carter. All right, hurt people, absolutely, man. She say, does the age gap have a true difference in a relationship?
Yeah.
He say, absolutely. Age ain't nothing but a number, but it makes a difference. And I would say it makes a difference in experience. It makes a difference in thought process, right? And you just think about it for yourself, right? I don't know how old you are, Brittany, but think about how you thought 10 years ago versus how you think now. So yeah, it makes a difference. And honestly, typically, I'm not gonna say all the time because there are some big gay age gaps that work, but Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon didn't work out too well, did it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, it becomes a sex thing. When it's too big of a gap, it becomes a sex and money thing predominantly. But that's that's what a lot of relationships are. So, but the thought process, the mentality, your goals and stuff like that might be important. I mean, if you don't have to make it important, but it could be kind of important. Big difference between what I want when I'm 40 versus what I want when I'm 20. What I can provide when I'm 40 versus what I can provide when I'm 20. Big difference. Big difference. Go ahead, Brother Anthony.
And with the age gap, the socio-economical standpoint of it can play a big role in it also. Because if you're a hot 20-year-old chick dating a 40-plus-year-old man that's established, he has something that you're trying to work towards. So he's going to provide a certain level of stability that you can't get or you might not have when you're in your 20s. Now you flip that around, you have a 40-year-old woman and a 20-year-old dude, it becomes more about sex for the dude, not necessarily the stability that she's providing. So the goals are different as well.
And I also would say, Brother Anthony, he said that then you start looking at a pseudo parent child relationship. You start looking at, man, this is an established woman who can teach me and help mold me to be able to actually deal with other women. So it's not that I'm looking for something really necessarily long term with this woman, but man, it's going to help me become a better man for the next woman, and vice versa for the women as well. Oh yeah, man, boom, that's my sugar daddy or whatever. But it's actually helping me to deal with men to be a better woman for the next man. It's typically a transitory type of thing. Not all the time, but that's what I've seen in my little 40 years being here on Earth. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just young.
When I was in high school, the old dudes used to call it, I'm raising up a chick for her husband.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Again, what's going on, Krista? Thanks so much for joining, man. You got anything to add to the conversation? Put he say before it. If you're a brother, she say before it. If you're a sister, we have to grow together. She say, yes, I'm different. I'm 24 though. All right, yes, a major difference. Absolutely. She say, no, don't believe it as much. Of the age gap is a difference in personalities and maturity. You're right, but that's just saying the same thing. But yeah, on the way, cool, no problem. She say age gap usually has money and sex involved. Absolutely. She say she thinks it's about mindset, respect, communication, yes, sex with age and any relationship. He say, I am human, not a trash man. Not all the time anyway. Real talk on the age thing. Absolutely. All right. So it's Lord, time and move. See how fast time move, Lord.
Wow.
All right, so I wanted to share another experience that I had, and this was actually a business experience. So I had a woman who did an order, and I told her at the time, hey, it's gonna be about 2 to 3 weeks before you get your order. But this I consider to be a pretty important client, so I tried to rush that order through. Now, 2 to 3 weeks. She would call me the next week. Hey, I want to get an update on my order. Call me 2 days later. Hey, I want to get an update on my order. And I'm going to talk about this being simply a lack of patience. Everybody put a console #patience. I'm like, dang, I just, I told you 2 to 3 weeks. But anyway, so I'm still servicing. This is a customer. I'm still servicing the customer, trying to, deal with her, whatever going on with her, because they obviously got some pressure on them and they want to get this as soon as possible. But I can't make it get here no sooner than it is. That's why I told you 2 to 3 weeks. So anyway, finally got her first part of her order in. I called her and said, hey, the first part of the order's here. Do you want me to just go ahead and send that and then send the rest of your order when it arrives? She sent her son over, got that part of the order. That was on Monday of this week. I was like, cool. So what I'll do is as soon as the other part come in, I'll call you, verify your address, send that thing off. Tuesday just passed. And her rest of her order came in. I was like, let me call her. Fantastic, because I want to be done with it at this point. I was like, I can't wait to get done with this customer. So I call her. Hey, your order's in. I just want to verify your address. Boom, bam, bam. Okay, it's going in the mail today. So I get a call yesterday, Thursday. She said, hey, just want to check on my order. I said, hey, I talked to you on Tuesday. I put it in the mail. I sent you an email with the tracking number. Did you check the tracking number? She said, no, I didn't. So let me go check that now. Boom, we got our phone. She go check the tracking number, call me back. I don't see it in the system. I said, oh, I don't know what's going on. So I come home, check it. That USPS hadn't processed it yet, right? I'm like, oh Lord. I said, I'll go up to USPS, I'll check on it, see what I can find out. I go up there, they don't have no information, of course, because they ain't gonna have no information till they process. And of course, we are dealing with unexpected times. There's a whole bunch of traffic going on with people trying to send stuff. Now, this is a businesswoman. So I called back and said, hey, you know, I'm going to come back up here tomorrow. I don't have any other information right now. I'll come up here every day. I'll keep on checking. I don't know what's going on, but I dropped it off on Tuesday. So her response was, well, my husband's starting to get mad right now. What? Well, wait, hold up a second. What do you mean? Y'all are business people. Y'all deal with this stuff all the time. There's something might happen. I mean, I think we'd be able to understand this. I said, but that's okay. I said, hey, tomorrow I'll check. I checked that night. It finally showed up. So I called and said, hey, now it's showing up in the system. Your order be there by Saturday. I said, you go ahead and check USPS, whatever you need to do. And I told her, I said, listen, I don't appreciate you, questioning my integrity. I would never do that to your business. It's a black woman. I would never do that to your business. And if you say your husband's going to get mad or he's mad or he's upset, that's just not how we do business. So I don't really get how we doing it like that. Y'all in business too. And I was just like, wow. I said, I would never do business with her again. Never. She can never call, because of what's going to happen, Brother Anthony. She going to get her stuff and she going to be sold out by next week. And then she ain't going to remember how she treated me when I was putting her first in front of all my other customers. That's my recent experience. As I keep saying, man, sometimes this will be a little bit difficult to deal with some black women. What's your take on that experience, Brother Anthony?
I mean, I can only interpret that as she's getting pressure from her customers also. And so I understand your frustration. And I'm kind of reading into the situation a little bit, because I've been on both sides. Well, I'm waiting on a vendor to send me something so that I can send it out. And I'm kind of caught in the middle. So I've been that person. But at the same time, I'm not going to call and harass my vendor because I have a relationship with them that I don't want to mess up. But I also don't want to mess up their relationship with my customer. So I'm constantly communicating with them as well. That's a fine line that you have to deal with when you're in business, because you never know what that other person is experiencing. However, though, the part that rubs me the wrong way is for her to say my husband is getting mad.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the part because what does that have to do with anything that we got going on? I'm communicating to you what I've done. I communicated to you when the package came in. I gave you the tracking number. Now, if the Postal Service hasn't logged it into their system yet, you got the tracking number. All you got to do is wait for them to process. We all know that when you deal business with outside shipping agencies, that it might take them a couple of days before they get it logged into the system. When they scan it that first time, it don't automatically go to that tracking number, not at that point. They have to get it back to the warehouse, rescan it in and say, we picked it up, we received it here, now we're going to send it out. Most business people know that's how that works. So I don't really understand that at all.
Yeah. I got that. Again, guys, you joining us here. I forgot. It is Saturday. My bad. Days don't mean nothing to me. I don't know what day it is, Brother Platt. Thanks so much for joining. If you ever want to add anything to the conversation as a woman, put in the comments below. Before your comment, she say, brothers, you want to put in he say. Is this the he say, she say show? Let's see what we got. Miss what she say. Glenda Tate Williams. They're great black men. We need to respect them. Rather than have peace and respect, which can make communication better, relationships can work. I want to go back to something, Brother Anthony, to the clip. The woman asked a question. I don't want to make sure we don't go look over this. She asked, do you want to be right, or do you want to do something that works? Something like that, right? Did she say, hey,
yeah.
Yeah, she said, do you want to do what works, or do you just want to be right? And I find that many sisters are more concerned with being right than anything else.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let me walk that back just a little bit. That's true in my experience. That's true in my experience. I think they want to be right more than they want to be agreeable. And the sad part about that is, for somebody like me, I'm generally the kind of person where I won't say a whole lot if I don't know the answer to it. So if I speak to something, more than likely I know the answer already. And in situations like that where somebody wants to argue a point and I know they're wrong, they just want me to concede, just to keep the peace, I'll generally concede knowing that I'm right. And I think a lot of men do that with their women who always want to be right. Because, you know, that old adage that says, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
I hate it because it should be happy spouse, happy house.
Now, for the brothers that are here, man, have you found this to be, a trend that as you're dealing with women, whether it's your spouse or not, and just in dealing with women, it seems as though the only thing not the only thing, one of the main things that's important to them is to be right. And this is why, for me, some of my favorite words is, okay, you're right. And because I don't think that sisters that you quite understand that once that's a disposition, it's easier for us to concede than to continue. Because to continue means that we got to deal with more lambasting and more added on stuff. It's easier to concede than to continue. And when the conversation is, well, hey, you just don't communicate, I want you guys to understand why you might feel like we don't communicate. Because when we do, it's not about us being heard. It's about what you think and you being right. That's what the interpretation comes out if you take that position versus trying to be agreeable. Go ahead, Brother Anthony.
What you just said, somebody just commented that we want to be heard. That's what she said. So it's not necessarily about us conceding to them. They want us to just listen to them, get it all out.
And here's my rebuttal. He say we want to be heard. So here's what happens when we say we want to be heard. We take the time to hear you all out. We get 3 words in and you're back at it again. So not only did you want to be heard, you wanted to continue to be heard without actually listening so the other person could be heard either.
That's the part that's missing.
Yeah, that's the part that's missing. That's what happens consistently over and over and over and over again in these relationships. You want to be heard. You finally get someone that's willing to listen. Let me give you an example. Oh yeah, this is the other example. You want to be heard, right? So I called my friend. I called a friend today, right? Sister friend today. Now here's the thing, Anthony. Here's what I want to give you a tip, sisters. When a brother gives you a call, he probably has something to say. Yeah. Let me leave that. If a brother gives you a call, he probably has something to say. Here's how the conversation went. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right. And blah 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 blah. Excited to hear me want to share with me her whole day. And for 25 minutes, I was like, okay, I called for a reason. I got something to say. You have not given me an opportunity to actually get out what I called for. And these small little things you don't even notice because it's more about what you had to say, although you didn't initiate the call. I initiated the call. So I want to leave a quick tip for your sisters. Maybe ask the brother, yeah, what's up? What you call? What's that's what we do, Brother Anthony, right, brother? Hey, what's up? Like, if I call you, brother, Anthony, what's up? You be like, what's up? And I'll be like, what's up? You're like, what's up? Like, what you call me for?
Yeah, exactly. What did you call for?
Right?
Yep.
What's sisters? In the comments below, here's my question to you. When the brother initiates a call to you, what's a good response so you can allow him to actually give you the reason for his call before you do the dump thing? Before you let out your excitement and enthusiasm. Oh, I got him on the phone. Oh, I want to tell him so much. Oh, something just hit my head. I've been meaning to tell you this for a while. What's a good response in order for you to set the tone to allow this man to actually let you know why he called before you go ahead and let him know what's going on with your day? Okay. All right, let me catch up on this. I know y'all don't get to that. Let me catch up on comments. I'll bring it back. She say, I've had experience today, which was a big wow moment. I showed apartments and male clients show up with a female. We spoke and agreed to see this apartment, but she comes in saying, is this all that's available? And we want something in Hyde Park and our budget is $1,200. We only were speaking to a guy and his budget was $950 and was open to all areas of Chicago. They walked out before they even really looked at the apartment and complained. It was on the first floor. Okay. All right, Britt, sorry that happened to you. Keep it professional, never personal, he say. All right, she said, I wonder why she brought her husband in, threat, yeah. I wasn't threatened. I'll put him on the phone. I mean, I'll talk to your husband. I'll let him know the same thing. What's that about? Part of the pressure, especially if you have worked well together. I mean, I don't know. Yes, yes, I heard that. Oops, she say, all right, gotcha, no problem. Oops, not always. We want to be heard. I got that part. Happy spouse, I like that, absolutely. Yes, heard and understood. Yes, it may seem better to be right, but it is right to be better. There are too many in the former. I love Brother Plant. She say doing that only hurts us because you're feeding our unacceptable behavior, which means it will probably get worse before it gets better. Ooh, some more Nick bringing that thunder here today. Say I've always been let's do what will work after we have had a conversation. Say I've always been let's do what will work. Oh, look at this. She said, hey, what's on your mind? And wait for him to speak.
That's a good response.
What? What's on your mind? Now, I want to break this thing down. That is an excellent. You know why that's such an excellent response? Because most men are in their mind. Most men are in their thoughts. They're not in their emotions. So to ask him what's on your mind versus how do you feel is two different conversations.
It definitely is.
Wow. Now, Brother Anthony, I think they fingers are moving a little slow because that's the only response we got to that question. You know, what's a good way to to allow the man to go ahead and let you know why he called? We only got one response. I don't know what's going on.
Or they don't have a response for that question.
Woo, we still wait. Okay, let's see here.
Bravo for some more Nick. Bravo.
All right, break this response down, Brother Anthony.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Has anybody ever asked me that before? Because me being a single person and doing my fair share of dating, and I initiate a lot of phone calls. I don't think there's one time that anybody has ever. It's always been a dump. It's never been a, what's on your mind or that kind of thing.
Now, let me ask you this, Brother Anthony. If seeing that you get this response, how do you think that would affect you as far as your communication?
I mean, I think I'm an excellent communicator as it is right now, but just to have someone to take the time to actually care to ask that question would put that woman at the top of my call list. I mean, wow. She will become a priority because right there, that lets me know she actually cares, or at least I perceive it like she cares.
Wow, absolutely. This is in the house, man. That's an excellent. That is such a great response. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? Some more Nick, whoever you is, girl.
Where you at?
You say, thanks for calling. What's new with you? How have you been? How was your day? This is good. LOL. All right. Yeah, thanks for calling. Cool. What's new with you? All right. Happy to hear from you today. How are you doing today? Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. Let's see here. That was good. Hey, she says all the sisters that's out there putting the console, what's on your mind?
Yeah.
What's on your mind? Right? Not how you feel. That's pertinent, but I think that's a good question for me to ask you. How are you feeling today? Right?
Well, one of the complaints that we hear a lot is dudes don't call. And I wonder, is that why?
Yes. Okay. So, Brother Anthony, the answer to the question is yes. You know what happened with that call? Once I got about 15 minutes into the dump, I was like, yeah, let me get up off this phone. Because you don't care what I got to say. You didn't even consider. I didn't even have to say. And am I looking forward to calling you again? Am I looking forward to calling you back today? Do I want to go through that again? No, I don't. It's
that's something that a lot of people don't hear. A lot of women don't hear that.
Yeah,
you're the reason why I don't call.
She say it's not. Again, if you want to do she say, if you're a she say with your comments, brothers, he say before you comment. It's nice to hear from you. To what do I owe this phone call to?
See, I don't like that.
I don't like that. Now that seems like you in corporate America. You corporate over there. This must not be your man.
Yeah, that's not a caring response.
I'm not gonna say it's not genuine, but it's like who am I talking to? No disrespect. I'm just saying we getting down to real talk here. You know what I'm saying? Like this your dude. You know what I mean? You talk? Maybe you talk to your dude like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge.
Hold on one second. When I read that with the neck roll and the eye roll and everything.
All right, she say, man, why not call and say, hey, darling, hope you're well today. I need to ask a question. Or why not just get right to what you want and then allow her to speak instead of waiting on her? Well,
you don't get a chance.
You don't get a chance. Like, so it's not so there are times where, you know, you may, if it's something that's super, super like important, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm calling because of this, blah, blah, blah. But then what can kind of happen there is like, well, hey, you only call, I hear this sometimes, bro. You only call when it's about money. You only call when it's, no, I'm getting stuff, I'm taking care of stuff, I do stuff during the day. I need to call you real quick, and I don't need to be a 45-minute conversation. I need to get this, and boom, bam. And then it's like, oh, you don't really care. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't care how I feel.
Yeah, you don't care how I feel, fine line. But in this conversation, Sister Renee, you initiate the call, hey, what's going on? How you doing today? You know what I'm saying? Call and check up on you real quick. Oh, I'm doing okay, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, 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 boom. Not, oh, yeah, I'm doing, because you do salutations, right? You call you, hey, how are you today? You don't just, you know, did I call you at a bad time? Are you busy? Right? These are some of the things I think that are, it's good communication just to make sure you know that, you know, you could be in a meeting, you could be whatever. I got to be respectful of your time, right? So, you know, I think that's relative. I think that's all relative. She say, getting the key to this convo start can be extremely helpful for us women, although I tend to think I'm great with communication. He said the woman gets the last word. He say, hey, nice to hear from you. How you doing? That's subtle. That's subtle. Like how are you doing? All right. And I think after the how you doing, there's the pause, like the pause. Like let me just make sure he didn't call for something serious, something, you know. Here's my point. He say, just know that if he called for a reason. It could just be to say, hey, I was thinking about you. I just want to see how your day was going. We ain't talked all day. All I'm saying, it may not be nothing critical, but I think it's a good practice to allow him to uncover why he called, because he called for a reason.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens from there.
But now men are becoming more intentional with calling their woman and trying to get their point across as well. And then it's like you play tennis at that point. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. You know, you go back and forth with it.
Yeah. What's on your mind? She say, what's on your mind? Okay. All right. Hopefully we help him. 15-minute call. Hey, I'm not lying. Let me give you another example. Right? Another example. This is similar. So I had a sister that I've been trying to help do some things. And I actually brought her on to one of my platforms to kind of get her a head start with some things. And from that head start, she got quite a few. She got quite a few hits. Got a few hits that could be potential customers or clients for her. This is a business thing. And from that, I'm like, okay, I got the fire started. Right, we got some fire started. Now you got to strike the iron, right? Strike the iron. And so she said she was gonna do this, and do this next, right? Those are next steps. I was like, cool, all right. I seen her take her next steps. She's gonna create this group. She's gonna do this thing, and then what I saw after that is she created the group. And she kind of just stopped there, and she was putting all this stuff into this group, but hadn't got anybody in the group yet. So I've been watching, and I said, okay, let me reach out just to see if she needs some help. Because what her plan is, right? Because I don't know at this point. So I reach out and I'm like, hey, I just want to check on you real quick. We had talked about some things. You got this group started. I'm in this group. Nobody in the group, but you posting stuff in the group. Like, what's the plan here? What's the plan of attack? How can I help? So she started to answer that question, right? But then after she answered that question, again, something seemed to might hit her head and was like, oh, I finally got him on the phone and I'm happy to hear from him. Let me go on a 30, 45-minute tangent and and it just went on. And let me tell you what happened. And this is what some women do. You literally can have a conversation and it be a monologue and you not even know nobody's paying attention to you anymore. She just went on and on and on. I done put the thing on pause, on mute. I done left, came back. She's still going. I'm sitting there looking at the phone like, dang, Like I was calling to help, but now we all off topic, and I ain't even got a chance to actually breathe a word in for at least 20 minutes. Do you ladies realize how draining that is? And I'm like, she don't even care if I'm on the other line. Maybe she has some stuff on her mind. I don't know. I'm a guy that don't mind listening, but my goodness, the dump is real.
And it's even more stressful if it's a negative dump.
Yeah, it wasn't a negative dump, but it was just like, I'm trying to see if you need some help with this thing, and so now I saw that happen again, Brother Anthony. I was like, I'm not calling because I don't want to go through that again. Yeah. I do not want to go through that again. You on your own. I done left the group. If you call me for help, I'll help you. But me initiating that call, thinking that, you know what, I can really, you know how it is, Brother Anthony. You do have a heart to really assist. But have you learned in your life, like, if you don't call me to help, I probably don't need to be stepping in your lane or something like that? What's your take on that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, I get calls a lot from different friends of mine, female business associates that are looking for ways to kind of, get new clients and that kind of thing from a marketing standpoint, or because I do very well at telemarketing and that kind of thing. And the sad part about it is when you lay out a plan and they don't follow it, then they want to more so articulate their displeasure with the results that they're getting by not doing anything. And in that conversation, your first question is, well, did you do? And at that point, you don't even get the whole sentence out before the dump starts. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to deal with this ever again.
So, man, I got a question for the she says for real. He say, do you, when we say the dump, are you honest enough to say you got a little bit of that in you, or is that something that you working on? You realize, like, I mean, because and what is that attributed to? Is that attributed to your communication with your female friends that you do with the males, or is that you're super excited to hear from the brother and you want to share with him everything that's going on? Help me understand the dump. I want to understand the dump. I mean, just from the she says, because I don't take it all that well. I mean, I try, but when you don't even take a breath, and it's been 20 minutes, and I ain't got one word in since I said hello. Why are we talking? I'm just being honest. Why are we on the phone? I'll keep on the comments. She said, "Hey, excited to hear from you. Glad that you took the time to call." I like that one. I like that. Yeah. It says, "How was your day? What's going on?" That's cool. He say, "Man, many of them are products of broken homes and absentee fathers, voluntarily, involuntarily. Due to this, they're looking for boyfriend and husbands to play father role. All right, with that, it feels like I'm calling my daughter instead of my one." Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh. It's getting hot. I told y'all, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. It's a he say, she say so. All right, Mr. Bell. She say, "Hey, what did you want when you called her? Because I think the tone you use when you call also sets the tone. If you have a more relaxed tone, of course, she's going to want to talk. She feels you have time." So let me respond to that. He say we're justifying now. And this is a common thing for women when it comes to women. We're going to justify the behavior of the woman to try to help me understand why the woman did what she did, even if it was good or bad. And I'm not cool with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? When a brother messes up, or when a brother, you know what I'm saying, has a transgression, it ain't cool for us to justify. We own our stuff, say, man, you know what? Yeah, brother, that wasn't right, man. And let me add that. How come it's so difficult to simply say I'm sorry? To take a moment to self-analyze, you know what? I just dumped 35 minutes in this man's ear. I'd never asked him what he wanted. I didn't seem like I cared about him and his thoughts and his feelings. And you know what? It didn't bother me. That's the thing, Brother Anthony. For it not to even bother you, like did not even register that it happened. And we were both in the same place at the same time, but yet we're supposed to, when it happens on the other end, it's the inference. You know what you did. Mm-hmm. You know why you ain't talk. Come on, Brother Anthony, help me out.
It goes back to what we said in the very beginning. They don't care. It's just that simple. They don't care. And if you want to summarize it up, we can come away with this and say a lot of times they don't care, they want to be right, and they want to be heard, but they don't want to listen.
Some hard. We're bringing some hard truths out here, man. And again, these are truths from the black man experience. Now here's the thing about.
Let's go back to what that brother said before about the father figure role.
Okay.
Now, this one, it reminded me of a conversation that I had with a woman who was explaining to me how she wants a man to be just like her father, and she was telling me about how her father treats her, right? And my response to her was, well, he has to do that because he's your father. Your mother and father are divorced. Ask your mother what kind of man your father was to her. And then apply that to your dating life. Because if they're divorced and he's this great man, he wasn't all that great to her. Or she wasn't all that great to him. And you need to figure that out before you start comparing the dudes that come your way to your father.
That's some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff, man. She say, are you guys 100% sure that you know how to share? I can't wait to test this.
Please test it.
Yeah, please test it. Please test it. She said, I'm confused. So what is the intent with this person? Something that's been here. What do you mean the intent with what person? Why does it have to be? I don't know which person you're talking about. These are. I haven't shared anything as far as any like romantic relationships. These have just been interactions with women, period. If that helps with your assessment of what you're trying to figure out. It doesn't have to be an intent. One intent was, hey, I see you ain't moved forward in what you said you wanted to do. I'm calling to see if I can help. The intent was to see if I can help. That was it, right? And then I got the dump, right? For whatever reason. The other one, I don't think, did I have another one before that? Right? I shared the other one as well, right? So,
yeah, I think that was the main one. I think that's what she was referring to when you called to help the lady. What was the intent of your call?
To help the lady. Brother, you got that listening. Brother, you got that listening ear. I do. Can you help me with my group, Brother E? Can I help you with your group? Yeah. What's your group? Sure. What's your group? I don't know. What's your group?
You're way too fast.
Let me find out what your group is first, then I can tell you if I can help you. Inbox me so I can see if I can help you first. Okay. All right. She say most are going to be shocked that you even. Yes. We just see. That's what I'm saying. Be patient. They will gladly share. Wow. I've been shocked. Being on content and tone of the conversation. I mean, I think you're going somewhere that's not. I mean, you can go there. It always depends on tone of conversation. But if I call you and say hello, you're gonna judge. You're gonna try to justify. You can try to interpret my tone. I could be moving around fast. I could be laying. That doesn't matter. I'm calling. That's number one. You like that, right? I'm saying hello. I'm asking you how you doing, right? Whether I'm in a hurry, whether I'm not. If we go into it like, oh, your tone and your content and the tone of your conversation, when it's just the beginning of the conversation, I think that's jumping. That's jumping versus, okay, let me hear and listen and hear the words that are coming. Do you not understand the word that are coming out of my mouth? She says some of us women often communicate with more words than men.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's cool. I mean, homegirl needs no excuses to justify wrong. All right, she said you can't say that we don't care. We both need to come together on this. Well, so he say, let's talk about this statement here. To tell a man what he can't say when he's sharing with you how he feels about interaction, that's straight up wrong. And that's a communication that comes off. Now you're trying to tell me what I can't do, how I should and should not feel. And that might not have been your intent, but that's what your words say. We can't say that. Why not? That's how we feel. So in other words, you're not going to accept how I feel. And now you're basically, this word that came up earlier, you're dismissing how I feel by saying what I can't say when I'm communicating how I actually feel about an interaction. Brother Anthony, this comment here it speaks volumes.
It does. But it goes back to what we said in the very beginning about them wanting to be heard and not necessarily listening.
It's good stuff. I was just saying, some women like drama. Some men like drama. I agree with that, man.
Yeah.
Some men like that's equal to
people like drama.
Hey, so we're gonna have to talk about unrealistic expectations as well. Absolutely. She say, but I would advise against testing that if you are not ready to actually listen.
She's dropping some jewels tonight. She's dropping some jewels tonight.
If you're not ready to listen, then don't test it. That is absolutely phenomenal. If you ain't ready to listen, don't test it, man. Say, come on now, preach. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, she say, wow, that was good, Anthony. Hey, brother, kudos to Brother Anthony. Got it, absolutely. Thanks for your advice and some more. I'm a great listener. I just want to test a different conversation starter. All right. Okay. All right, fantastic. Thanks for your advice some more. Okay, got you. Brother Plain say, men are poems, women are novels. You will never get your answers in one show, brother. So you're telling us how we feel by saying that we don't see. Okay, so he's saying we're not. So for me to tell you how I feel about an interaction that has impacted me, you take it and say, now I'm telling you how you feel. Do you see a problem with this communication? What? I mean, so I can't freely say how I feel about something without you taking offense to it, or without you feeling like I'm attacking you when I'm telling you how I feel. Well, how do I get to express, how do I get to express how I feel if when I express how I feel, you take it as an attack to your feelings? This is why we can't talk. Yeah. This is why. Brother Anthony, go ahead. I see. I got to step out on that one.
You know, in this scenario, the first thing that comes to my mind is if I say, I feel like you don't care about my feelings because you did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, in a conversation like that, she will come back and say, you shouldn't be feeling that way. Not, well, my intention for doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G was this. That's when you have a productive conversation. Not, you shouldn't feel that way because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's what a breakdown is. She's justifying her reaction or her response to his emotion about how he interpreted what she was doing.
This little twist is so critical. We see so many breakdowns in this little twist.
When in reality, all she had to do was say, I hear you.
Try that. Can we try to see? Can we try that? Yeah, I understand. I hear you. I don't even like, do you really like I hear you? I don't like I hear you. I mean, that just seems like it's like a blow off to me, right now. I don't really like I hear you.
Okay, what would be the best words? I understand. I get it.
You know what some women say that's been effective? So what I understand is this. And
to reiterate what you just said.
Yeah, okay. Is what what I'm hearing. What is this correct? What I'm hearing you say, is this correct? That this, and this. To really say, I heard what you said, and I'm taking it this way, but I really want to really understand how you think or what you think and how you feel. So let me recite this in the way in which I heard it. That's the very effective some communication I've had with women. Go ahead, Brother Anthony.
But that's a corporate tactic, though. So, you know, a lot of times it goes back to the Nikki Giovanni conversation. What you do at work can be very effective in your home if you apply it. But when we come home, all those skills that we've learned at work are dismissed when we walk through the threshold of our homes.
Wow, man. This is good stuff, man. Y'all enjoying this? Is good stuff, man. You can't speak to your significant other the way you speak to anyone else. There should be a level of love and tenderness in your speech that is reserved only for that person. Okay, yeah. He said I think that's kind of built over time, right? But at the same time, you say there's a level of love and tenderness, right, in your speech, But then I would also surmise that there's a level of understanding that if my speech isn't necessarily on point, then it doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be some response to this off the cuff type of thing. Like, same way, if a woman comes home, she had a bad day, right? I don't necessarily have to take her bad day and her coming a certain way as an attack on me. I was like, oh man, this is a little odd. Okay, is everything all right? What's going on? Vice versa. So with that love and tenderness and understanding of this is my mate, or this is the relationship that we have, or this is the bond or that we have built, it's okay to have a bad day. And I should be okay with you having a bad day and understanding, oh, it's just a bad day.
Yeah. But the key to that sentence is there should be. Whereas in reality, in a lot of people's reality, that level of conversation is not love and tenderness, it's adversarial and combative.
Woo! See, I've been told it's not what you say, but what the other person. Ooh, it's not always what you say, but what the other person hears. And I think that goes back to my communication with Miss Destiny. Not what I said is what you heard.
Yeah, and the reiteration. The reiteration gives you a lot of understanding.
Right. So you say we've both. I mean, I think this is about us both coming together, but it's hard to come together when I'm trying to express how I feel and you take it a certain way. Like, now I'm talking about how you know, for me, I don't want to go in there, but for me to feel like you don't care, because here's some things. Let's do this. Here's number one thing for me that makes me feel like you don't care. You don't want to listen to me. Period. I can't get more than 2 words out. You don't want to hear what the hell I got to say. Every time I try to talk, it's a problem. Then when I don't talk, it's a problem. The number one thing for me to say, man, you don't really care about how I feel, is you don't listen. Here, so for my mind says, okay, this is another person who don't want to hear what the hell I got to say. They don't care about what I think. They only care about what they think. That's the 2 + 2. That's the equation. Don't listen, don't care. Don't listen equals don't care to me. Do you get that same feeling, Brother Anthony, that, hey, you ain't willing to listen to me? You simply clearly don't care about. Not that you don't care about aspects of my life, not that you're not concerned or you don't have a love and you want to make sure that I'm okay and I live and all that stuff. I'm talking about the care for my thoughts, the care for what's on my mind, the care for how I feel.
And well, let's break down what we mean by they don't care. I mean, you're doing that a little bit, but in a relationship, there's gonna be the love and care that a man's gonna receive. That's your making sure he eats, making sure he has clean clothes, a safe place to live, a clean place to live. Those basic things. But when we say don't care, is about the emotional aspect of it. You care about what we do, how we do it, but you don't care about how we feel about what we do and how we're doing it. That's the missing piece.
Oh, that's good right there, Brother Anderson. I'm glad you're on, because I'll be drowning it right now, Cole. Yeah. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We communicate differently, but we can come to a common ground if you respect the other person. This is about respect. Say that's where communication begins to break down and we get defensive. Nobody's listening to understand, but only talking to be heard, right? Again, if she say, I overstand. If you're she say here tonight, you want to she say before your comment. Brothers, if you hear he say before your comments. Keyword, nobody, she say. I definitely understand, and I'm learning a lot. I'm typing and trying not to type a monologue. Good job, some more. Absolutely. She say, he say, paraphrase to let you know you are listening. Absolutely. Blessings to you, Mr. Jamal. He say, my point is that you can't talk to your mate the way you do your friends, co-workers, or even family. Well, that's
why not? Why not? And okay, so I'll look, because like I said, I actively date. I want my conversation to be similar with my prospective woman as it is with my friends. I want that level of comfort, because when you have that level of comfort, it makes the conversation easier for you to communicate and also easier for them to understand if they're communicating in the same aspect of it. Because we freely communicate with our friends with no reserve, no stress, no nothing about it. So why shouldn't we be able to have that level of no reservation with our mates? We should be able to. But
and that brings a great question. I don't know who's here tonight, but do you feel like you have that level of reservation with either your mate that you were with, you might happen to be with, or whoever you might be dating? Or do you feel like I can't really say everything? See, there's been, hey, because I know you are this way, there's certain things I don't say to you. I don't even have these conversations with you. I leave some things out. We don't talk about this because of how I feel you're going to respond, or what I think that what I think you think. Right. And so there's this reservation in your conversation, which also leaves out elements that could be a part of your relationship.
I mean, think about that whole. I mean, how many people have you heard say, "She is my best friend" or "He is my best friend"? And I always laugh when I hear couples say that, and I'm like, really? Because there's some conversations that I've had with him or I've had with her that I know they hadn't had with you.
She say, where is the say, thank you for the definition. That's a great combo. Absolutely. Saying my kid take the base out, but all I'm saying is they'll be able to talk to your mate with a level of intimacy that you can't with others. Yeah, I mean, that grows. He say that grows though, right? That grows over time. Like if you're able to have be free in your conversation, then I think that's going to help develop and grow your intimacy, because now you all in. Like, oh man, we can. I can talk to her, or I can talk to him, or I can release. I can have a place to vent. I got a place where someone actually cares what the hell I got to say.
When it comes down to communication, my grandparents my grandmother used to say this to my grandfather all the time: love don't always come with a kiss. And she would say that when she was about to have a hard conversation with him. And so at that point, whenever she started the conversation off like that, he would stop whatever he's doing, turn off the Western he was watching so he could focus and pay attention to what she had to say. Because he knew it was going to be a hard conversation that he might not have wanted to hear, but he needed to. But that's how she always prefaced those conversations when she wanted to be heard and when he wanted to be heard. They would always say, love don't always come with a kiss. And pause, and then they would start talking.
And I'll share something that I learned that I think is what, I think most people would say I'm a good listener, is because growing up, one of the things that ended up happening, me and my sister used to go at it all the time. It's probably the same dynamic. And in order for us to have a better effective communication, our parents basically told us, hey, what's going to have to happen is y'all going to have to, say your piece, and then you're going to have to count 3 seconds, right? When you're done, you're going to have to count, the first person's got to count 3 seconds after you pause to make sure that you're done before they can speak. And we used to have to practice that. We used to have to practice that in front of our freaking parents because we were always fighting. But I remember that right now, clearly, that I try to practice that. I try to make sure, okay, 1, 2, are they really done? Because, somebody can pause just going to get their breath. They ain't done, but they were just trying to get some more breath so they can do some more. And that's really helped me to be a better listener. And I want to throw that out to the audience. What are some things that you practice, right? How many guys know you got to practice listening? What are some things that you do to practice listening that's helped you become a better listener? Or maybe we're going to help someone become a better listener here tonight. Because again, this is not about bashing anybody. This is about learning how to communicate more effectively. Brother Anthony, you seem to be a good listening man, man. What are some, is that what you just shared, what you learned growing up, or was there something else that you kind of implement to be a better listener?
Well, corporate training helped a lot, but what I find also is listening to a lot of audiobooks, because if you listen to audiobooks while you're doing other stuff, you learn to really listen intently, because so many things can be going on and distracting you along the way that you don't really get the gist of a book that you might be listening to. And it makes you constantly stop, like, oh, did I hear what I just heard? And go back and rewind. With a live person in the conversation, you can't go back and rewind that conversation. You have to really pay attention. So the multitasking can oftentimes get you caught up. And I think with so many distractions we have these days, the art of listening has become a lost art.
Wow. Be slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. That's what the good book says.
Yeah.
Be slow to speak. Be quick to listen and slow to anger. Quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. Absolutely, man. The lost art of listening. The lost art of listening. In the comments below, I'd like you to be honest, right? If you're a person here tonight, he say or she say, and you feel like, you know what, I could do a better job with listening. Go ahead and put that in the comments below. I can get better. Put in the comments below, I can get better. If that's you tonight, you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna be honest with myself tonight. You know, I'm stopping. You know, I ain't got to put on the front for nobody. I don't need the representative. I realize that it's not my talking that gets me in trouble. It's my non-listening that kind of messes things up. Because I don't have a problem saying what I want to say, but sometimes I'm not really given the opportunity to whomever, whether that be a mate or there just be interaction, for them to actually have their piece as well, so we can actually have what we call dialogue. That is dialogue, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, something like that, right? If you say, hey, I can get better at listening, go ahead and put that in console. He say or she say, I can get better. Because I believe we don't really begin to make any progress without any honesty. And that's the best positive. That's the beginning of change, of progress, or anything like that. And these practices that we're talking about, it can alleviate a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of all these worry and doubt and stuff like that. We just, you know what? Let me take a breath. And here's the deal. I think, Anthony, here's another thing to point out. It with distractions. Sometimes we're just too busy to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got your day planned out, boom, boom. Like, to be honest, for me, I don't know how, I have a full day. Boop, 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 boop. You know, I'm like a machine, right? But I still make sure that my principle is people over projects.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody call, I might give them a quick 10 minutes, but I'm gonna give them that 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be as much as possible. I'm not gonna say I'm definitely can get better with not a lot of multitasking. Yeah, I take that pretty seriously. But in the middle of the day, I am texting. I'm like, because that's a problem. My phone is my computer, so it's like I'm doing all this stuff, trying to still. But I know what I need to do. Sometimes I just gotta say no answer. Because I'm in the middle of posting something or marketing something and my phone ringing. I want to respect the call, but I don't really want to talk right now. And so I can get better. I'm gonna be honest, I can get better. I think I'm a good listener, but I can get better. Anybody else, man? What about you, brother? Can you get better? You can get better?
Oh, I definitely can get better, and I know that I am very distracted a lot of the time. Same thing. Phone, my phone is in my hand most of the time, which is, of course, why I don't understand how you can call somebody and they don't answer, because we're glued to our phones. But that's a whole other topic. One of my mentors, he would always say, like, if you call him and he's in the middle of something, if you need to talk, it was a certain way you had to get his attention. Then he would set his timer on his phone for 12 minutes. And you had 12 minutes to get it all out, have a conversation before he goes back to whatever he had going on at that particular time. So I think sometimes in our relationships, business or personal, we have to set a time frame for active listening, because we're going to be interrupted at any time. Just like, when what I was in the middle of when we started talking about this show tonight, I had to find out what time it was going to start. When do you think we would be finished? Because I had to set aside some time just so I could do this. So that way I could be fully in go. Because other than that, I would be just like this and not paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
So I definitely practice getting better every day.
Absolutely, man. He say, man, despite our high level of education, our community, we have lost a simple thing we learned or should have in primary school. The thing is reading, listening, comprehension. That's to a degree different than just listening comprehension of what we're hearing or listening to. Must be comprehension of what you're hearing. And that's why, I mentioned, Brother Bell, that, sometimes just repeating what you heard in your own way can kind of help with that comprehension. Well, here's what I comprehend. Here's what I got from what you said. Is that right? Now, there's some people who never get it. You be like, you still ain't got it. I can't do it no more. We have to just act like we just got to move on. I done said it 4 or 5 different ways. You still ain't got it. Yeah, we just might be on different levels of understanding. I mean, because that's why sometimes I tell a female, go talk to your girlfriend, because that might be where you got to go to get to understand what I just said. Because I done said it 5 different ways. You still ain't got it. Yeah, I don't know if we ready to do anything here. Hey man, this is He Say She Say show, brother Anthony. I want to say thanks so much for being here tonight. Time to just step aside and share some stuff, with the community, and we're hoping that you really got something to hear brothers express themselves. Yeah, that y'all say y'all want it, but do you really appreciate it, right? Do you really appreciate it, man? Brother Anthony, I'd like for you to say your last words here tonight on He Say She Say show. Before we get up out of here, for everybody else, I want your feedback from tonight. Did you enjoy the show? Is this worth your time? Should we do more of this to help bridge the gap of communication in our community? Are you showing up next time? I basically asked you, was this worth your time and why? I just wanted to have some fun tonight. And we're all pretty busy people doing stuff. And I think this is a good time. This is my dump. I dumped tonight. I had to get it out. And I'm glad you guys let me get it out. Brother Anthony, your last words here tonight on the He Say, She Say.
Hopefully everybody took from this conversation that they should care about the person that they're talking to. Make that person feel comfortable in sharing with you. And just contribute to the conversation, I guess. Contribute to the conversation by actively listening and restating. That's going to be the, what I want to end this with, and show concern, care, comfort, and concern. Show concern for the person you're talking to, care about what they're talking about, care about that person. And I think that's it.
And make it comfortable for them to engage with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else what to get from tonight, man? I know a big thing that came out of the night is you probably the reason why they ain't calling you no more. you are the reason, and you don't see it. You don't see why they ain't calling you no more. Yeah, you the reason.
Yeah.
She say, man, some people good talkers and good listeners. You learn to respond accordingly. Love discussion. Great, absolutely. We got let's be honest. We got way more good talkers than good listeners in our community. This right. It's a reason why I said you'll be quick to listen and slow to speak. Because most people are quick to speak and slow to listen. So we had to be told, right, to be quick to listen, or be quick to listen and slow to speak. We had to be told that.
In the original manual.
Yeah. Anybody else, man? Your take for tonight? He say, she say so. So what's this all about, guys? It's all about making sure that we understand that everybody has a voice. I think that's important. Everybody put that as well. Everybody has a voice, right? Why not let your voice be heard? Everybody has a voice. It's not just the dominant voice. It's not just how I feel. It's not just what I want to say. Everybody has a voice. So as our brother Anthony said, will you care enough? That's what I like to say, care enough. I know you care, but do you care enough to hear what your counterpart has to say, whether that be your boss, whether it be your children, whether it be anybody, right? And will you make it comfortable enough for them to come to you with what it is that's on their mind, right? Care, comfort, and concern, absolutely phenomenal. Man, this He Say, She Say show where, we got some more comments. Nope. Oh, everybody has a voice. Absolutely, man. So, Brother Anthony, I want to say thanks so much for being here tonight. This is just a special presentation. I do this. I ain't going to do it on the schedule. I'm just going to do it when I feel like doing it. That way I ain't got to be like, we're going to do it. And I don't like, this is just one of those nice shows. And we do bring females on. I just thought tonight it'd be good to have the brothers not get interrupted every time they say something 5 minutes. And then we can start to build. I'm just playing, but next show we'll have the He Say, She Say dynamic. I don't know what we'll talk about, but hopefully you guys will show up. Hopefully you guys will show up, and we'll. She said, "Be more emotional." Okay. Hopefully you guys will show up as well. Hey man, I want you guys to remember this, man. That it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's keep building. We got empires to build. We got families to build. We got legacies to build. But it's going to take us doing it together, right? Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
You've been watching the He Say, She Say show. We thank you for tuning in. Until next time, Keep that conversation going. He say, she say.